welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella, and for today's episode it's going to be much personal than my other videos because I will be actually sharing with you on how I have my high motivation on a daily basis. The purpose of this episode is to show you how I personally get my high motivation and hopefully how you can get some ideas on how to motivate yourself. We all know how important motivation is to each individual to help them reach or achieve their goal, but sometimes it can be different for some others to have their motivations up high. So with that being said, now I will be showing you all on how I keep my motivations up high. So now let's get on to it. So firstly is waking up early. So I'm pretty sure that this is almost everyone's least favorite thing when we start the morning, because sometimes it can just be really hard to wake up. And even myself, I'm not really a morning person. If it is the weekends, I'm just waking up at like 1 p.m. or even 2 p.m. sometimes. But when it is the weekdays, I do have to wake up more earlier just because of school. So now these are the things that help me to wake up early or help me to motivate myself to waking up into early. So firstly is that when we need to get ready for something, we always need to prepare. Like for me, which is school. So when I need to go to school, I need to prepare myself for a lot of things. I need to check if I have the correct equipment. I need to check my uniform, I need to take a shower, have breakfast, and all of that stuff. And sometimes this can take really long for me, but it depends really. But if we don't wake up early, we can feel a bit rushed into doing these things. And personally, when I feel rushed into doing something, it makes me feel a bit grumpy, and being grumpy is not the best, especially because it is the start of your day. So you want to make sure you have a good start and not spreading any negativity, because we have to stay positive. So the biggest reason is why I try my best to wake up early is because I really do not like waking up late when I go to school, because there has been some times where I am maybe 1 hour late or something, and then when I go to the school, it can be quite embarrassing because you just enter the classroom and everyone just stares at you. It's really embarrassing. It's like the walk of shame sort of. So that teaches me a lesson to just wake up early and just try to stay organized. Now, secondly is going to school. So there are times where I personally did not want to go to school, maybe because I just didn't want to or I was feeling lazy. But we do have to stop that feeling because school is very important for us. Either way, if we don't go to school, our parents can get into trouble, and I'm sure you do not want that. So these are the things that help me stay motivated to go to school. So firstly is every day you get to learn something new. This is probably one of the most exciting parts into going to school, is that I get to learn something new. So this can be very important because maybe it might come up in our end of year exam, quizzes, or whatever it is. And if you get a good score, that means you have a good chance into having a very successful future, which is something that we all do want to have. And besides from just going to school just so you can get a good grade for your exam, you might even learn something new that can help you outside of school. Like maybe in maths you just learn how to add money or something when you go to the shops. That might actually even become handy without you even realizing. So that's why it's important, because it can help you with outside skills. I'm pretty sure it's not just maths, there are probably other stuff that you can learn from, but that was just an example. But moving on, so the second motivation in which helps me go to school or make me want to go to school again is I get to see my friends. So getting to see your friends is one of the most exciting feelings when you go to school. There may be some times where they aren't in, or maybe they just are late, which is, by now my friends aren't even surprised if I am late, because I've been late so multiple times, which is why you do want to wake up early. So if you did pay attention to my first one, which was into waking up early, then you probably would understand. But there are times where you won't see your friends, or maybe they're just late, but there are times you will definitely see your friends the full day. So having a friend is one of the most exciting stages of life. You get to have someone who you can look up to, or someone you can trust, and maybe someone that trusts you. It just makes you feel like a very good human being and all of that stuff. So thirdly is going to an after-school club. So going to an after-school club, it's actually really fun going there because you get to do what you're interested in. It's like you get to pick what subject you want to do and just stay over for school a little bit. So it can be really good for you because you can just stay up a bit out of home sometimes, because there are some times where I'm just absolutely lazy and stay home on my iPad the whole day. Pretty sure that some of us sometimes don't admit. And before I forget to mention, do not do stuff just because your friend is doing it, because some friends, they may be interested in some things but maybe not interested in some things. Maybe one friend may like art but the other one may like maths. If your friend might not be interested in the same thing for you, it does not mean that you guys aren't meant to be friends. Some friends can have some dislikes and likes, but that's okay because that's more natural, I guess. But don't just do something because your friend is doing it, because in the end of the day, they're the one doing it and enjoying. Well, good for them, but are you the one enjoying? And if you do want to have a happy lifestyle, then just do what you enjoy, because that makes you feel so Moving on onto the next one, which is to doing your homework. So this one may not be everyone's exact favorite one, but we should still do it just so we can avoid detentions and punishments and just wasting our time. So these are my motivations into helping you want to do homework. So firstly is that you may actually help you sometime in the exam. So let's say you didn't understand this lesson and your teacher gives you an homework on it and you're completely confused. That gives you an opportunity to do more research, and that can help you maybe on an exam later on, and it helps you understand something way more. Because some teachers, they may teach easier than others, some teachers will teach difficult than others, but either way, they're teachers and they are teaching the same thing. But the internet can be way more easier for us to understand things, and that's very useful. Now secondly is to waste time rushing yourself into doing things. So like I said earlier, sometimes rushing can make you feel moody or maybe grumpy, and that's not the best feeling, and that can make us say, I'm just gonna do this later. And I've had so much experience from this because I do this almost all the time, but now I'm getting into the habit into trying to do my homework way more earlier. So if you do your homework more earlier, that can help you to see where you need to develop in some things. Like, let's say you don't understand question B, you can skip it and you can come back to question B because you have so much more time, instead of just leaving it last second to do all of it and rushing it. And if you do rush it, maybe your teacher will say something like, this isn't acceptable and it's clear you rushed it, because you still want your homework to look neat and presentationable. So now moving on to our next one, which is to trying to study or review. So this is pretty much my least favorite one, but we all have to get into the habit of doing all of these good things. So yeah, but I have my ideas on to stay motivated. So firstly is that if we study and review, we're going to get good marks on our exam, and obviously if you get good marks, you get praises and awards in school, which is something that you like, and maybe your parents might even award you for doing well, and that's all just for taking some time of your day just to study and review. Now lastly is not my favorite, well, pretty much for any of these aren't my favorite, but still, which is to sleep early. So this one is quite hard for me, but I still try my best to sleep early. And that is, if you sleep early, then you get to wake up early, which is actually what you want to do, like my first point. So you have time to be prepared, get your uniform, eat breakfast, take a shower, and all of that stuff. So if you sleep early, you get to wake up early and take time to do all of the stuff you need to do. So it's just a keep on repeating process, basically. So now that is all for today's video. Hopefully you found it useful and maybe you have some ideas of your own to help yourself stay motivated. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, and hopefully you have some ideas on how to keep yourself motivated. So if you enjoyed today's video, maybe you can check out my other videos, and I'll hopefully see you all on my next video. Goodbye.